I think it's been a year now.
Yeah.
The accident was like the marking point.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Right. Yeah, sometimes you gotta total your car to half a milestone.
You know, little things like that. And so months ago, we were in the midst of a meeting. We were just dreaming about all different kinds of stuff that we could do at the Awakening. And then I told him, I said, hey, I want you to come speak on one of the nights for the Academy. And you guys heard Jill talk about him last night. So, and
All
then,
good things, Joe.
oh yeah,
Mostly. I knew he was wondering.
I have it on tape, so you.
Wanted you to be accurate. Wanted it to be accurate. Right, exactly.
So it's one, you guys know you could be an artist but really not be good at inviting other people into our creativity, right?
Yes.
Like you saw last night, not only is Jill very creative herself, but she's this phenomenal job of inviting you into creativity. There's just an adventure to be had, right? And Jill invited
You
her.
were the cheerleader of that.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you
Seriously.
cheerleaded for me.
Yes, but you
So
have
that I
done
can start.
phenomenal cheerleading.
So tonight you guys are in for a treat. You're in for a treat. He's gonna actually talk to you guys in tongues tonight. So just to get your mind enlarged in creativity, and then you'll be able to interpret it phrase by phrase. So Caleb, that'll be your job.
I'm practicing with 1-year-olds.
I want to encourage you guys.
You're in a good space then, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Childlike, we're 8 and 4. Yes, okay.
I want to encourage you guys to become aware, meaning this. Last night, tonight, for the rest of the week after these 2 nights, be aware of what has changed in how you think. If you can become aware, you'll keep it. So just be aware, because art has the way of breaking boundaries that. Because it moves past your cognitive thinking. Art is the fastest way to hit people's subconscious. What lies beneath. Creativity does that. So be like a child tonight. Enjoy the whole process. And in more than anything, just make sure we have some fun tonight. Okay? So with that, take it away.
I think he said everything.
Oh.
Nice. We didn't even have to discuss this.
Do you know that ain't true?
So, I mean, in this group, I imagine everyone can sense God, has an ability to communicate and doesn't feel like they can't otherwise. Is that correct? Anyone in here feel? Okay, good. All right. So basically, what I want to do tonight is really explore that space. I mean, really just push into that. Okay, I really didn't plan on talking much at all, but I'm not going to set ground rules and whatnot. Let's just really tap into Father.
Yeah.
Like really press in to and let your mind kind of go with it as well. All right, so. Question ticket. Okay, let's begin.
Wait, I don't have anything.
Oh.
I can be
Save the
creative
best
with
for
that though.
It's mystery box. Double portion.
Did I miss anyone else?
She used to take the pacifiers and she used to go like, she had done
Okay. So I know you guys are all looking like, what the heck is going on right now? I want you to start really tapping into these objects in terms of thinking about artistic expression with them, like really diving into God with this thing. You know, one particular object, just to kind of get you guys going. If we took a screw and we blew it up 50 feet, everyone would look at it and go, this is art. Why does it have to be 50 feet tall to be art at that point? Okay, so if you can get quiet and you put music on, go ahead and do it. But let's just start honing in on this thing.
The needle.
It's just a needle for an airplane.
Airplane needle. There's Amy.
See, my prophetic gift was an operation.
This is your art over here, Amy.
Amy, you have to pick up your art. Oh, my art?
Oh, okay. Are you gonna say that? Is that one three? There's two. Are you right?
Just kidding. Totally.
Just take one, listen, go with it. I like to stick this brush
That would be fine. That's pretty. I like doing special guys.
And I think it might carry.
Awesome. Where did you get some from? Yeah, specials because it's not. Right. You did get a call back. It's not. Yeah, just straight off.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be next week.
Sure is. For weight.
Thank you.
Work with it.
Work with it. Okay.
Let's work with it.
Look at it.
Work with it.
All right.
You're welcome. I have to keep the dog here in back. I don't think you do like that now. How pale. Looks familiar. Yeah, it's actually. Looks like
It goes in.
Right?
Right?
Contact lens. Yeah. I understand. Materials.
You want us to do whatever we want with it?
Like I said, main thing, think about, don't stress on time right now. Take the time to actually hear and to take in what it is, and then essentially work with it.
Just wait.
Walk towards
It feels like it, right? Something so like good to see. See some information. No, there's nothing.
Work with.
That's
It's interesting how. Exactly, just that.
What it is, ask him what it is.
I know, it's very simple.
Yeah.
Oh, Okay. Then this is not good. 6 minus 12.
It's really, I didn't want to take it home when you're from out.
My house is close, so I go to the line. It's over.
Okay.
It's hard to understand it. So there's certain UK and there's stuff like this, it's like, it's like one of those.
One of my sisters did not working. Fine.
Yeah, are these supposed to work?
It's art. Yes.
Yeah, what if
You wanna sharpen it?
it's what?
I love it.
Same as before. Oh, you stretch. Stretch. Where'd you pick it?
Okay, some of you guys might have noticed that you got pencils that won't work. Some people got erasers. By all means, you may collaborate, you may communicate, you may exchange. Building something.
They look like big dogs.
Thank God.
You ready to go?
But only on So then that comes out.
We've got a voting now.
There you go, using your mark.
I was trying to,
Oh, and burn the.
can I see the needle? Does anybody get a hand stone?
I can make one for you.
That needle one,
I can rip up some paper and make your haystack. Does that make your joke from funny?
well,
Now maybe I'll put it right. You got it. That's your face. Hold on. Joe, I lost my booster. Oh, I see. Don't move.
I'm impressed that nobody
You
was
say
taking all
no.
this.
Just don't hold on to the little stick. Should I plug it in?
When, if, you know.
If we need it.
When we do it.
So we put mix together. Play together. Where do you like this one?
So it's just interesting though, the sentence of the, where you're going, it's right here, but that's. This is. No. Yes. You passed out.
can do whatever you want. I don't know. Common
More or less.
question.
So, yeah, move it
What do I do?
Cool,
I'm gonna need that tape.
This hair? Okay.
I don't know why. but I feel like I should.
I was waiting.
Ready for this?
God, you're hung on doing this. It was just gonna lay there, and then we're.
Yeah.
You want- if you're gonna use- No, I'm just-
No, you just.
What you're working with.
Is that your idea, Kelly?
She asked for the tape.
What about
What about colors? Do you have any colors?
I have-
when you ask
Like,
for tape?
I have twistable crayons. Who asked for twistable
I
crayons?
They do it now, babe.
I know, but
She saved none of
she
mine.
also can collaborate, don't forget.
I tried. Oh, you want to?
What you can use, because he's the director of what you can use and what you cannot use.
Who's got a hole punch?
I know.
You're playing
Probably
your
gonna
role.
have to figure out how to work without one with that.
I got this DJ.
Hey, I do know how to.
What are you gonna do?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see.
I had to, I missed my class.
I have a pencil that.
I'll take
Can I
my
have
pencil
some
and
of your
piece
paint?
of paper.
It was
Sweet. All
the
yours. My wife got a
martial
CIA
arts.
techniques, man. Remember that? What was that CIA guy?
I think I needed to do that. That she shared, that was really nice, and she had to pay the price to get it.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. That's really it.
You made it on that, by the way.
Awesome. Yeah.
Well, Fred.
Oh, my scissors.
Okay. I really went in there.
I got some paper. And. If you look at it, it's just fine. It's the cone of the castle. And, it's a light. Caleb, what do you have?
A bunch of screws in a box.
What are you gonna do with the box?
I'm taking words off of it.
What do you have, Brian?
I have rope,
So when you take like.
scissors,
It's
a
not hot enough.
screwdriver, thing like this,
Wait, go back to a thing like this.
a thing like this that's not hollow, but it's bendable. It's not hollow? No.
Let me know when you need the scissors. I'm kind of just working with it.
Yep. You have a tape.
Oh my gosh.
You're like killer when you're asking.
I got a tape, girl.
Yeah, wait till California.
Brian, what are you doing with the hooks?
Making a sword thing.
wonder if you can put the hook thing with the Haley's box.
Legit shark. What's that? It's a legit shark in there.
Reflective things on.
So this was what I was going to do. Yeah.
That's so hard.
Sword of the Spirit. Ooh. This is serious handling of both the time.
I was able to play music on there. Do you put some music on?
Sure. I can play it on my iPad
You
without
got,
being
you put this
louder.
on? Yeah, you wanna rock?
Yeah, we got this music right here.
Yeah, let's get that one down too.
Multiple musics.
Yeah.
Yes,
Alright.
okay.
All about that.
I'm there.
Like the whole thing. That's really all, that's where it goes.
Yep, go for it.
Probably get some furniture. There. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Did you really?
I went into it with no expectations. My throwing
Star Wars prequels, you know, you're in a marathon, you study it through, but whatever. I just feel I'm down. So we get nervous.
I'm a piece of art and decorating.
No,
It doesn't work.
you can find the release button. I mean, find the mistake with one.
Wow,
How did you feel?
that's pretty neat.
How did you do it?
Yeah, so there's this one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, please sit it. It's not in my
Thank you. So many
Look at my box. They're going to your tower. Fortress.
Watching too much Game of Thrones.
I don't know about that. That's gonna take improvements though. Hey, Andrew, get protected me. Table, 5 minutes
Oh
off.
my goodness.
Okay. Whoa.
You want some taste?
Well, I'm gonna go with that actually.
This is a classic too.
I will actually use that. Oops. Did it actually? Oh, it did.
Well, now you have stabilization.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, we borrowed the staple from Valley Hills.
Oh, did you tell you stapled it into the table?
Yes.
Okay, be real careful with that.
You can pull it out, you know, we have a big screwdriver
Why
over
don't
there.
you like staple
Um,
it up or?
I'll let him use my sword.
What?
But
You staple
Oh, there you go, that's.
I did last time.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Well, like,
I'm kind of thinking of the surrounding.
yeah.
No, no, it's fine. Besides maybe myself. They're gonna play. Wouldn't be the first time.
I'm scared.
They've played.
I
Don't worry, I'm fine. I'm fine, I'm fine. How are you doing? This was in one place in the visual. Another place on the visual. Several things that I didn't know about.
I know we have two different music systems.
Yeah, that's what.
You do that.
That doesn't exist.
I like it.
This is what my studio.
Yeah.
I have these little two things. Actually, maybe I'll use There's a tour of these out here. They're out for it, but they can trick waves in a tour if you want. There's an alcohol. Yeah, if you want an alcohol, can I use it as a tool or not? Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Where are they from? Awesome. Did you sneak one out, Tony? That's awesome.
It is amazing.
Without.
Yeah, okay.
But I feel like I'm not, and this is more naturally kind of easy one. Because this is part of it, but I don't want to put it on. It needs to be so that people can take it. So it's super natural. I mean, it's all but this has a different meaning.
How would you show us? Think about that. Think about your goals and that.
And then of course I just like, you know, it just brings up questions like,
Right. So just the reason I'm asking color that from fire I'm not saying that you have to do that. You want to present that as a book.
yeah, I appreciate that.
Quick, I think the stage was, I think everything's supposed to be short. Sliding over mailbox. Oh, wow. We need the water bottle. Alkaline water bottle. Oh, yeah. You seen it too. There you go. Coming at a chance. This little tree, how this tree world.
How many of you guys are like honestly relaxed in this space? You were probably getting there. Just get your headphones in. Yeah, me too. It's like, this is all, I was like digging in and just got so much. This is the worst thing ever. Switch it up, get around, go do something else. I think I need to take all of it. Yeah. Let's upgrade this device.
You make it do something to take that
Right?
More power. Right, that's what I said. No, it's right. It's that.
Scissors, Joe?
What's that?
Scissors?
Oh, no, it's simple. I don't know what this is. What's this?
So it's a bone wire.
Glasses? Oh man, I got excited there.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, you don't want to let some people take your glasses.
Yeah,
Break these.
yeah, exactly. I'm all for sharing. I have a day off. Okay. Oh. That's funny.
That's art, man. That's like frustration captured on art.
Oh, wow. Wow. I know. Can I use the stapler? This is my weapon of choice.
It was an accident.
My art is I told them
on
that
the
was
table.
for-
It's you staple it together.
Yeah, wait with it. I told them that's the table we borrowed from Val and Lewis. Okay, probably not.
He keeps throwing it. I think it hit me last time.
Where were you?
Right here. like mean jizz.
No, I used all of my brown paper.
Oh, I think that you did, yeah.
I know, that's not right.
For birdie. I saw little kids in my head.
You're all like, so to me. Kiss my head, bow to me.
You made something. I just feel like you made something go on a crack. You made something or like maybe a crack that it could go on.
Was it yours, princess? It was my idea. I knew what you want.
Oh, yeah. I know, it's like the third version of the same song. I think it is actually three different versions.
They somehow managed to pick food for themselves and you. So what was Tweaker's species? Don't serve grasshoppers. It's you, idiot. We're a lot stronger than you say we are.
Does anyone have this paper I can use? Oh, yay, thank you.
Hey, y'all got any tape over there? Tape.
What's
Y'all got a wellness center?
There's a little black kid.
We have
I'm
two.
so excited.
Oh, you're in the
I
middle.
totally didn't see it.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Where I felt like that was my control.
That's like really.
Hey, you guys stop what you're doing right now and grab 2 items that you feel are essential to your piece and pass them to the next person.
Ours.
Yes, essential pieces that you feel are essential to your piece.
Thank you for your
You know, pass them on to the
Alright.
Right?
pass
Your
it.
best like part of what you need, like give it to someone else.
Something that, whatever you consider, 2 pieces that you consider to be essential to your piece, pass it. Essential.
Yeah.
This is horrible.
That's so the other one.
Which one? Yeah, mine.
My grandkids.
What'd you get?
Here you go.
Oh, these are your essential pieces.
Exactly right.
Your next essential.
Yes.
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
Someone else.
Oh no, that was
Those were Denise's essentials.
no way.
Tools, yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's do these pieces. Game
What?
piece off. You lose your game piece. So you say you want to swap?
I lose my game.
Amy's trying to give away her 2 pieces.
Okay, I guess I
Did you get 2 pieces? You need to get 2 pieces. Ryan, did you get 2 pieces?
I gave 2 pieces, I haven't gotten 2 pieces. I gave 2 pieces. I only got, I got 2 pieces.
I gave.
Okay, 1. I got yours.
So some people haven't received 2 pieces.
Oh. Cool.
You're gonna start enforcing, huh?
Ryan, I said something good. Going back to my now new creation.
My super high power energy ring. I was gonna try to make new glasses, but I was afraid I'd make a spectacle of myself.
Oh, Brian.
Unfortunately,
She put it
Just thought, well, I've done seeing my mind.
Brian, you're just gonna have to come to every semester of school, whether you've done it or not, just so you have the comic relief.
right?
I love it. I love really looking like that. Mine's speechless on comic relief.
I'm just gonna have to flunk you out of every semester.
There you go.
I'm sorry you didn't quite get the Holland
Uh-oh. We're drunk.
I'm sorry you didn't quite get the yes. My mom asked, oh yeah, I told you guys that already. I know, because I put it on my other page.
Right.
About this.
Sorry, you
My
can't-
mom asked my oldest brother what apologetics were. He said, oh, it's about apologize. You have to understand.
That's so much recorded.
Yeah, yeah, in a sense.
More about defending.
Yeah, but doing it the right way and maybe in the midst of that, you apologize for something that was wrong. Oh, I know what I could make this be. Nose ring. Ooh.
You have nose ring? Need to borrow Stanley?
Stanley the stapler.
I got a pocket knife if you need a nose ring.
Oh, you have a pocket knife? Oh, I've done you good a minute ago.
It's
A color, a needle, and
It's scissors.
it's not,
Where's Stanley?
You make stuff happen. He
The
wants
art
to
of
help you.
negotiation.
Stanley, he likes to help you do things. We're not gonna get there too much.
Right.
You know what I'm doing. Oh,
I'm gonna run the paper on it.
hey, look at that. Yes. Oh, that's like phone wire. When we were kids, we used to go down to the end of the street
I think I
and then they leave all this wire.
I'll take it. Oh, I'll take that. Never mind, I'm good. Which came through as well or as usual. No. Just need scope.
Oh, my dad used to say that all the time. I'll have just a scope. Just a little bit.
It's a little scope. This is scope.
Reminds me of pastries at that time.
Oh, there you go. Starbucks.
That's
I'll
scone.
have a Scotia with
I know, but it's, to me, it's like a hybrid, maybe it's a croissant-like scone.
Right.
Hybrid.
But isn't it true that anything that sounds like anything bread, you're like, that's unlike,
It's like honey bread.
which reminds me of bagels?
I like pastries. I like
Anyone have a rubber band?
Rubber band.
wine, especially if I'm sitting here. Just tell me.
Well, your bagels yell out, so it'll stand on the table.
Scored some years ago.
I think so.
Oh, cool.
It's
That's wow. I didn't know that this thing like comes in limbo.
Craig's messaging. No, actually, I just.
Is that like the issue?
It's not some.
How many times do you
Yeah.
get to make your
Wow.
Andrew, no need for you to be home on Sunday anymore.
Yeah.
Alright.
Let Pastor Maggie know.
Oh, yeah,
He's got a song to go with his beat.
yeah,
He's got a song to go with his beat.
yeah, who's got a song to go with that?
That's a brilliant only.
Channel, maybe a song for.
Lay it down, Craig. Lay it down.
Or a sound.
Playing the message in the bottle. So you get a guy on the street, say, you put the message in the bottle, I'll play it. Boom. Shakalaka. And I'll play it. Not just any bottle. Alkaline. It's cheesy. It's fast.
Oh, wow.
And it takes away all the acid. Oh yeah, and you know what else it's gonna be? I have a new instrument. It's a wagon. It's a wagon.
It's versatile. So you can carry all your other stuff.
Who's feeling content with their piece at this point?
Don't tell them yes, you'll never give it away.
I know.
Okay, who's feeling content?
I
How
added
about someone
more.
take some
I
of
added
mine?
more.
That'd be great.
I'm very upset.
Let me see what you got going on here.
Are you feeling
Well,
content?
it's been
I'm not gonna say I am.
They're on you, Joe.
I'm
Because it was
still
essential,
adding.
Okay.
I'm
Not settled.
I'm,
But
you
that's
know,
fun.
pondering.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Sydney's Opera House.
Yeah.
Who has an idea of what materials they need?
No, I'm totally. I made a new set of hair. Oh.
No one's got an idea of what kind of materials they need, like paint or anything?
I am the artist.
Who's feeling like they got a colossal amount of garbage right now? Like that, you know?
Beautiful.
I'll take a picture of it and send it.
You don't think you're just taking a picture. You got me in action. Oh yeah, it's pretty good.
Very cool.
Moved out of the box.
Use the window. Here.
I'm sorry. Sorry,
You got all kinds of wearables going on. That's kind of like awesome right now. Wearables.
Sound like werewolves. I don't want to hear.
We're kind of like. You needed a rubber band?
Great.
Great.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Doing? How many of you guys feel like you're just doing?
Yes.
I'm stepping away.
Make us something you do.
It's worth it.
That was good.
Get it, get it.
Be like, why do they have all these?
There's actually
I just went.
I swear.
I'll take your word for it.
No, I'm not talking about this. It's like, oh, let's sit there and do it all.
Because when I gave you mine, so I felt like they told you
Do nothing? It's funny to bring a picture.
Takes my whole world.
I sent it to you in Carlisle. Yeah.
Just like kind of watching all No, because she didn't do anything. I don't like no rules in that.
Yeah, I like the sign about it. What's the name on that? It's okay, you've been pushing it.
I have. I added some more things. I gave away 2
Yeah. You're sitting next to what?
I'm sitting next to a rebel. So after a little while, those 2 things were back on my page. So I put them back where they belong.
You're wrong.
But I did not say anything. She said I'm rebelling quietly.
Steal Christ's idea.
That's a box zone.
So are we gonna share with your
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the B Martinez box. Oh, yeah.
Draft farm.
He's my wife. Tell you how to keep the dividend. Okay.
Yeah, let's just wait. I want, are you okay with fully sharing someone?
Oh, yeah, I have no problem. Yes. What do you think? I think it's going
Wow, let's go. Hand on this one.
That looks like a Jerry Jones jet. He's the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, and they have a blue star on their helmet. Yep, and they have blue stars on their airplane.
What's that? What's that?
Why?
You like the environment?
Giants.
Oh, okay. That's all you had to say. Or I would have guessed Washington Redskins.
But I love how.
Really?
I love how
Did
you
you
call that.
love Joe Gensling was the goat?
You love Joe? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know you have to ask it.
Hey, Bray, did you love Joe Gensling was the coach of the Washington Redskins?
Yeah, he was. Dude.
Yeah, he was
Man,
awesome.
you still love it.
Good Christian guy, too. Really good Christian guy. I just love you, Ross.
I now love every team, so that way I'm guaranteed to the Super Bowl.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Well, after a few weeks, you can drop a few teams pretty quickly.
Well, yeah, they don't make it to the playoffs, I drop it.
They're becoming a no use.
Yeah, we're on to the bigger.
You're a no use to me.
Until next year.
Until next year. And we'll see.
You
see the comments?
Nobody want their lips. Whoa, hey.
Home Depot, maybe. Yeah.
There's that.
There's that thing. Alright, Jake. How you feeling?
I'm thinking.
Yeah?
I don't know. I'm museum experience.
Okay. So the experience is doing something.
Result.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if I want it. No, not, okay. Alright, so we got experience, waiting on a result. Yeah, no, I don't know what to do anymore. Oh, I know what I can do. Like, had a use early on. Yeah, I've just been doing stuff. Well, why couldn't that idea come back in fruition? It wasn't a full idea.
No, but I think that's it.
It was like half an idea. Okay. No, yeah, I don't know what I want to make of it. You get a half idea. No idea. But you had a half idea.
I'm a dad.
I like this kind of stuff.
Hey,
I saw stuff. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Okay. Me and my buddy, he's like, take a rubber band, put it between our two desks, tape tacks together, and then use like a plastic spoon and make a catapult or stuff like that. It was interesting bringing out certain objects at the top that blow off any ideas.
And then
I'm like, not enjoying, but experiencing and so why it's so frustrating. I'm like, there's no goal, there's no result, I don't know what to do. I will tell you.
yeah. What I should just do is
It
take
is.
a picture of everyone.
It's beautiful. Yeah, I started just putting frustration inside of it and just like writing things inside of it and tripping stuff just inside of it. Just like, I don't know.
Yeah. We're loud.
Trying to experience.
I can shut. Oh. Or you could like on around.
That's what I made it for. This is your job.
But not but I heard
Rather than start.
She exactly started with.
I thought it was something else.
Okay, this is.
I don't know, it was like a tower.
Go for it. At this point, I think I got too much evidence except for
Film like first time somebody did that.
I love it. That's something.
Creativity just has gone. I'm so excited.
What?
It's funny, this is
We used to take
It's a couple times.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
I like half of it. Well, I gave him oh, this is
How do you feel about it? Oh, it's crazy. How do you feel about it? No,
I got you, babe.
If it's anybody's, I just sort of picked it up.
that a night governor?
It's
Nothing I brought. I didn't bring it. I don't know. Spare game. Going into our seats now.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, this is our new church building. So you got Father, Son, Holy Spirit, and we're the fourth wall, and we can go out as far as we want.
So now it's like a
Here for like 8 November. This is the stage. This is like a little ramp to get up to the stage. And then this thing here is the pulpit. This is the keyboard here. Yeah, there's the guy sitting there.
Yeah. It's spot on. That's that progression, right? Whereas if you just pull it, he's not sure.
So he's got some black tape.
That's not good.
Oh, but wait a minute, I think we did all this stuff anyway, like, we move around too much. Nothing's gonna be like, nothing's gonna be on
That's cool.
like this.
Yeah,
What is that? That's cool.
Diorama.
It's a little dude. Hey, little dude, I'd like you to invite you to my new church building, the Awakening.
I'm done.
This part of it, that is not fun. Okay. Do you have the screwdriver? You know what? I sort of think it's probably yours. No, that's fine. I have that little weird screen. The little one that I gave you. It's like the manage.
I manage.
How is his nose?
Is that? That's his nose. Okay.
That's his nose.
It's not his nose, the spine is face. Cool. That's what it's gonna be in the eye. No, no worries. I'm going to see you.
How's it going?
So hard on the stick, I don't do another one. I was in your mouth, great. Build it up a little bit to get it.
It's too messy. This come out. And I can come out. So there she goes. I don't know if that's not one. It's a big tool. Okay.
I don't even know if they actually go in and step in the box.
So that his mindset would work. You can borrow mindset and tracking does that work. And all you're doing is breaking down what
Are the Sharpies on part of your feet?
They are. Down to the bar.
You're messing with the kids' church.
No, I'm in the back. In the back.
Bro, you're messing with my kids.
That's funny.
Looks
It's kind of creepy.
Anybody need a cowboy?
I like this.
It's like a little Jonah thing there. He's swallowing him right now.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you do that piece down.
When you leave here, when you leave here, right there.
Alright, we're taking a race. Hopefully this goes into
Yeah.
And as long as I had time, I was bored. I just didn't
No? Like this? How to go? So like this?
Yeah, and you sort of develop.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. She was just, Sophia was just like these. So I started sure.
It's around down the alley road.
There was a larger group that when she really wanted to go and be walking by the side. So I remember we had to go find the side. And you can download There's a website for an app. Well, in English, there's several different translations on it.
this one kind of floated, but
What's fabulous?
who's done right? Who's done right?
Okay. So versus that,
Who's done it? Who's done The second piece.
So we have papers. We have our papers.
What's that? I picked them up. Here. Cardboard is amazing.
Turn it upside down, so I gotta do the list.
Get more cardboard. Yeah.
You know what? These are just so you know, look at that. That thing's ready to sail. Oh my gosh. Look at all the trees. Yeah, what I'm about to do is praise the Lord.
That was all
Oh, wow. What was more? That's pretty good. I feel like we're made of food for some of our name is.
That's dope. That way, I got.
I started with a single piece
and it just grew.
I didn't see this as
No, I haven't done
It's all
And how that fits in.
I understand it's all of it, like if you understand. And you understand
Like this or more. Unless you come next to
No, we're gonna make it.
I think it's okay. Because this one is and it's used for.
Did you guys combine your project? Cool.
That and every generation.
I like a machine gun. Sweet.
Yeah, and then at the end, you just give a list of all the things that you actually created. Yeah.
So for that 1400 or 1200 years.
That's it?
And the world tour continued until. Yeah, we didn't get. Second century. After the fall of the drink water like someone else.
It's just beautiful. Look at it.
Because I thought something happened. In Babylon? 586 is when Judah.
I got this table.
Did they write a lot of stuff down or?
This one's actually fine.
No, it's not the world. That continues to give it. Continue to give it.
Sorry, I don't have another one.
They wrote it down.
Good. I respect the artist.
I've captured you.
Oh, cool. It's not in mind to church to be a link.
Do you want the other table anyway? This is the last one for it?
I'm looking at everyone's. So that's where my guild is some.
Is there anything on the back of this? Is this like?
Well, there's also this. This one?
You could
Is this your
Knievel.
modification?
Right, is this? Yeah, it's your Knievel Knievel. This like rose or it's.
Oh, go ahead.
So Paul said April 1970. So between 68 and 70.
That screw comes
Just
out
touch
too,
that
and that
button.
helps. So
You're like, oh, it's low.
That was thanks to
Just-
her.
Oh, really?
I got this is not writing still.
Okay, we got 8 minutes.
Right.
Don't want to rush anyone, but.
Don't feel rushed, just finish.
And the
Until
second project is just
Pull it
off.
Oh,
8 minutes. If you need to take a potty break,
Potty break.
Do it.
do it.
That's not gonna escape.
Okay, that's the fourth version of that song.
It's like a.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not.
What
about that other one?
How would you melt it? And then there's.
Good. Can you send me back?
Right.
Don't leave it laying on its side.
Oh, maybe I could use this thing. Is anyone using this thing?
You can have it sometimes.
Yeah.
My coffee sleep.
I need a pole.
Yeah, take it.
Hey, Brad, I'd like to invite your people to my new church meeting. Oh,
It's full of color. It's very colorful too. Can't be a little rigid. But they're soft. If you warm them up.
I should get a bunch of I should get a bunch of screws to be the people from my church, because then I could, the slogan could be, you may come to church screwed, but you'll leave church healed.
Oh my gosh.
I got sermons.
And they don't even have to be like vertical, because they can be like all like slants.
You're like.
We just gotta figure out what history.
Well, for the kids, I love it when the kids are in with the adults.
You got tall.
Check this guy out.
Thank you.
All done. You didn't flinch. No.
It's not hard now.
Yeah. You had to get, you had to get up in his skin.
Paper clip would take an eye out.
Like right
Okay,
at
we're
the
down
neck.
to 4 minutes.
So that when you're just like Stephen that one time.
Yeah, that's the whole point. It's scratching.
I can give you some. There you go. Here's the second project.
I'm gonna try to get them.
I just want to draft.
A draft? Oh, a giraffe. Out of this? Sweet.
Dance like a draft?
It's very fun.
Dance like a draft?
I saw one like that.
Is there a song?
Sounding words.
Is there a song like, what does a giraffe like?
Like
What does a giraffe say? Oh, it's bars. Well, you say giraffe.
Where's the other one? The red one. There's a song.
Good one.
Giraffe.
Yeah, this is, on
Overwords.
Yeah. This is like,
They no longer make sense.
this is like really stretching.
Me like the pizza. There we go.
Whoa. Diagonal.
See that?
It gets me when you go over the right. That's like, that's big time right there.
Do you feel it?
It's starting to take shape. It's just forming.
I don't like that.
Circling achievement.
No, it's like calibration.
Is it a llama?
No.
Oh, that's more like.
Giraffe.
We got one day. Totally see it, Joe. There's my light foyer. I told you, it's pretty chat.
Well, if you want me to go, with my first one, right?
Go for it, man. We can do it. I think we need to do abstract and we're just gonna work it out. No, we're gonna do it. We're gonna blow out. We'll make this blowout look like a little blowout.
She went to my former church.
But you know what, we're gonna make our own machine first.
Yeah.
There you go.
Prison
Yeah.
style.
Great style.
Hey, I just want you to know, you have to be a good tap. That's what I do. I have.
It's got pretty straight lines.
I have a machine.
That's key.
No one knows that.
Everyone's just right. Next month.
Church's got a tattoo
Yeah,
shop.
so we can teach them car back. Oh,
Guided by the
Really?
Holy Spirit. That's all we got. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to get business. I think tattoos. Yeah, he's a prophetic tattoo artist.
All day
I'm
things, $45.
Yeah, right, that's
The worst idea I've ever heard.
Compression.
You don't bring it to a close to somebody else. Sorry, that's how to translate.
Have you seen a giraffe film?
Yeah.
You ever seen the zoo? Like, you can drive a car, I mean, the Dallas
Spitting
Zoo.
fire? You're like,
I didn't say dragon.
Oh,
you want dragon? You want dragon?
You want a giraffe, right?
You wanted a giraffe dragon, didn't you?
It's a giraffe.
A giraffe.
It's a giraffe. Andrew, you remember Homestar Runner?
Oh, yeah.
This is,
So shotgun.
I'm saying Trogdor.
It's a giraffe.
Yeah, I know,
In the Dallas Zoo, they have this, you're driving on 35, Dallas Zoo, and they have this huge giraffe with his head up like a statue, and his tongue out like this, in the middle of the air. Nothing there. You're like, they had planted a tree when they first did the zoo, and it was supposed to grow to being big enough to where, and it died.
You just harpoon that alpaca?
It's a dragon. It's a dragon. It's a giraffe dragon.
It's a giraffe dragon.
Yeah,
That is amazing.
It's a giraffe.
Hey, Bray.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Biology.
Joe, he's in charge. Okay.
Is the front that says biology. Biology.
He says when we're done.
Wow. That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Smile
and wait for the smile.
Yeah, wait for that. That's perfect. There's a gun.
Three pictures.
Yeah, I see right here.
Process.
The logo.
How is that?
Yeah!
Millions of.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Right.
What's that?
There we go.
Is this-
It's a dragon. It's a dragon.
It's a
The new
dragon.
church dragon.
Fire
Right.
Lord.
That's really good.
Are you gonna pitch this to Tracy?
Yeah.
Pastor Tracy?
It's a
This
giraffe.
is
You're
a
creative.
giraffe.
You're very
It's a new
creative.
mascot.
You're
That's
very
right.
creative.
That's right.
That's hilarious. David.
Who said that was hilarious? Are you
Not you, not you.
What serious, guys?
Leave now.
Guys, I thought we had something about encouraging each other's art in the room.
Calling out
I don't know what's going
I know
on.
they say
here.
art is romantic sometimes, but this is kind of over the top.
Oh, see, it's like shadows.
Oh,
You just
wow.
never know what's gonna happen.
Whoa.
Whoa, wait. Guys.
It's like a llama unicorn.
I'm like,
He started
Unicorns?
We're gonna go in next week. There's like a person that's like coming with random stuff.
Instead of writing on the.
There's the eye.
Yeah.
Oh,
Boom! Shakalaka.
The eye.
I think there's
Tail
Okay.
Giraffe is
nailed it.
Need a longer tail.
What's that?
It needs a longer tail for balance.
Yeah, you got it.
And it needs a mane.
You know that's right.
And a hammer on that.
You
You gotta add a action for balance. If you want in.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I got that.
installation artists come in with massive tails. Just
I'm about to say, I'm gonna get rid of that. That looks.
Oh, little odd.
Wow.
Nice.
That's epic.
Yeah.
New church logo.
Yeah.
There you go. New monster for your
Boom.
book.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Those
Hey,
words.
you want me to do your next
Who
cover
wants to
art?
name it?
Ah! Licensing rights.
Licensing rights. I mean, it's gonna
Wow.
cost you
Words
something,
are good, but
right?
bloom is
Do we have
not
a
Time. It's gonna cost
Hashtag
you.
PC
It's
State.
gonna cost me readers.
What's that? A new career. Yeah. Picture art, guys. I can do cover. I can. You need
This
cover
better
for
be on
your
the cover
book.
of your next book.
It's done.
I mean,
like, I'll sell it to the highest bidder. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you know what, can we just take that
$3.99
whole,
sold.
the whole piece?
I hope so. I mean, who needs this anymore?
That's
when
what
you
I'm
have that
saying,
on top
that's
of
what
it?
I'm saying.
done.
that never.
That's gotta go on our Facebook page.
Oh yeah.
Done over the top of the words of Aristotle.
Yeah, well, let's call this Aristotle.
Let's call it Aristotle.
It's Aristotle.
Aristotle, that's,
Look, it's got
there
its
you
name
go,
right
it's
there.
there.
Aristotle.
Aristotle the dragon.
It's a smart dragon.
You're already back?
Yes, everyone's back.
And it's confused just like Aristotle.
Citadel Church of Aristotle.
So let's talk about this process.
Yeah.
From the opening moment, I mean, what do you guys want to share what you're kind of feeling with that? I mean, one little piece.
I made it.
Stress.
I'm
Stress? Yeah.
Yeah.
Confusion? Okay.
That's really cool things.
Yeah?
Like, it's like getting in touch with like, well, what do you want to say? Like, what do you want to create? How do you want me to manifest or create what you're trying to say?
Okay.
If that was challenging in a way, you know. So just because of just using what was given. At the same time. So it's almost kind of like what you gave works for everyone. So it's kind of like in some ways you're in tune to what God was having to say to everybody at the same time.
If that was the case, it was
You know what I mean? No?
it was not even at my conscious level.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Because everything here is exactly perfect. It's everything that I needed. So it's kind of cool. But I think it's like a lot of it was very divine. I don't know about everyone, but a lot of it.
He's like, I don't know about everyone.
It's pretty divine right here.
And I can't speak for other people. I'm being polite.
You can speak on behalf of Aristotle.
The attacker, I
Yeah.
Anyone else want to share about like process, the opening process?
No, it was pretty horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was really angry.
Yeah, we can tell by what you
Yeah.
created there.
I ended up with a machine gun. But it took me a long time
But
to
it
get
could
that
save
one.
our life.
Show
Yeah.
show us how it works. Get it in.
So this is what you look through.
Well, you know what? Here, why don't we do this?
Bring it up.
I don't
Bring it
know.
up.
Yeah,
Would you like to
I
help
got
me?
this.
Show and tell.
Why don't I move?
You might get shot if you don't.
Yeah.
It's a little complicated.
I'm just gonna put this right here.
Okay, so do you feel like your anger fueled this thing? Is that kind of what we're saying? Like anger, machine gun. Smile and wave.
I don't
Is he
know,
gonna shoot?
but
Stay up there.
Stay up there, yeah.
Stay up there, Rob. You help build
it worked. I mean, it stays. But like I first just made like a whole piece of paper about my emotions, about how I felt,
Okay.
and like I wrote a lot. And then like this was actually a lot of other people's stuff, and then it got passed around, or they just didn't want to use it anymore.
Okay.
So I just like picked it up.
That was less 10 minutes, I think.
Yeah, I made this like in 10 minutes. The rest of my stuff was just like, and then like I put this together, and I was like, wow, this is a lot more fun because I have like something to do. Do you know what I mean? Like you have like, you're trying to build something. You have a focus point. Before it was just like random stuff. But I put it together, and Raph gave me some ammunition, and then we made my machine gun.
So you lure us in to take a picture and just shoot us.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Just
you know what?
smile and wait for the flash. Just smile and wait
That
for
was
the
Raph's
flash.
idea. Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
Just load it up.
Yeah, this,
Magazines right here.
it's everything that was on the table over there actually, and a few pieces of other people's stuff. And I didn't have any idea. I just saw the box, and then I saw this long screwdriver, and I was like, oh, I can make a
That's
gun.
when I started doing with her that a confusion was going. I was like, okay, we're doing something for real.
Yeah, then I had a focus point, and then it was really, really fast.
Yeah.
But the whole class, it was not fast, and I was really
It was just
mad.
like going around. Me too, I was just going around.
Just going in circles.
I was like, you want to go? They're like, yeah, I want to go. But no, it was cool. Yeah, it ended up awesome. And it had every little tiny little thing was on the table. And even my coffee cup from Pete's earlier. It's inside. It's a balancing point.
Is that the cup you spilled in the car?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
To kind of fuel the
Right.
frustration.
Oh, yeah,
Does
it's
it?
holding it up this piece right here. I like it. Anyway, the back is way more complicated. We glued a lot of stuff together.
Give it a spin.
America, yeah.
It's not America, it's America.
America. That's my
Oh, wow.
Georgia.
Get it? I'm gonna get my M80 out.
It's missing the rebel flag.
Oh yeah. It just need a trigger also, there's no trigger.
Yeah, but we can like turn it. So anyway,
That's probably
it.
good. So you can aim but not shoot.
Yeah, we can leave it here.
That's awesome. Wait, I want to get a picture of that side of it. That's
Sure.
crazy.
That's awesome.
Oh, you guys had fun with that.
You guys have any questions about their piece?
We can leave it there. Do you want us to just leave it there?
No.
Really?
Because
You want to take
the
it
stage.
home?
other people might bring their stuff up.
I think I'll
Okay, so in that swirling or going in circles,
Mhm.
like, at that point, did you feel any connection? Like, did you feel like you were grasping for any kind of sense of something?
You mean during the whole class before that? Yeah, I was trying. I was trying to find something that, I don't know, everybody else looked like they were doing something, like they were working on something to make it into something they thought of. And I was just like randomly, aimlessly kind of writing or drawing, and that was really frustrating because I really wanted to make something big, but I had a single clue, and everything I saw didn't mean anything to me. Like, it didn't make me think of something. So I just sat here and drew and drew and drew and drew and drew. So when you tied my hands together, I was like, that's about right. That's how I feel.
Okay.
It's just like really frustrated. But yeah, I mean, I knew at some point someone's gonna give, but I didn't know what. But it was interesting. I could actually see stuff from me to build and other people's stuff, but not from what I had.
Did you offer to do so?
To do what? Take their stuff?
To assist with their building.
What?
To assist with what they
Oh
were
no, no, because they're so focused.
It's funny that you said that though, because he got to a spot where he needed help. He had a half idea.
I didn't help him.
You abandoned me in my time of need. Can we get a sozo?
That's funny. Yeah, I could see stuff like visions for me and other people's stuff, but not of just what I had. I couldn't make a complete thing on what I had.
Okay. Any other thoughts on
I'm happy now.
it? Now that you have a weapon.
She is from Georgia.
That's Georgia.
That's true.
Okay.
I feel comfortable with it.
Who wants to present next? All right, Yeager.
The little dude.
So,
Wait, hold on. You completely.
yeah, no, I'll talk about that. Well, I had to take parts out of it for this.
Why don't we start with that?
Okay, so first, it was really interesting, like
Hey.
getting one piece at a time.
Let's get it up on the podium, man.
Well, it's stapled to the table.
Stapled to
You did
Yeah.
staple it to-
Unintentional.
Yeah, Craig and I will talk to you later about that.
What's the installation? This is a permanent piece of art.
Way to go out with it.
That
There you
is
go.
awesome. Which
The
part?
next
Oh,
school
that's,
will just have
dude,
that.
that's
All of it is just
I'm
stapled.
loving that. That will be a memorial for years to come.
You remember the class that we had? Like, have them staple to the table.
Yeah. So I didn't mean to staple it to the table, but then I thought it was awesome.
Okay, regarding that, how many of you guys could see this thing actually stapled to the table? We clear the rest of this off and we actually turn this piece into what would then hang on the wall.
The whole table on the wall?
Yeah, the table on the wall.
Yes!
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
You can see it now actually coming together where it's not just stuck to the table and messed up. There's a piece forming in this that would look incredibly legit.
That's awesome. One way to put it. Well, I had something, like, I got the screw initially. I started off with just a screw and then the 2 pieces of paper, and I made some cool shape with the screw holding it all together, and I was like, this is cool. And then more pieces came, and it didn't flow with what I was kind of thinking. And then I kept trying stuff, and then it just got real ugly and really frustrating. And then I just started writing my frustrations inside the paper and just ripping up paper and taking the pieces that were bugging me and throwing them inside of the cone that it was.
The cone of frustration.
Yeah, the cone of frustration. And then I started
Machine
trying to do
gun
some
cone of
yarn.
frustration. I'm
Yeah.
seeing
It got really
Very
frustrating.
violent.
Yeah,
Sorry
exactly.
about that, sorry.
I was so frustrated. I was just really mad, like not mad, but just like really frustrated. Like I am so over this right now, and I didn't have a goal or vision or anything. And then you said to take out the most essential piece. I took out the screw that was holding it all together. I'm like, yeah, that's what's up. And it just started falling apart.
Take that.
Sometimes you got to screw out.
Then I just fully gave up on all of it. But then you handed me this when I was all frustrated. And you were like, you need this. You need this. I tried something with paper, that didn't work. But I cut it open and I took out the colorful thing. And I liked that. And I had cut off some words from the boxes, so I had some words. So then I saw the cup and the idea just came to me and I saw this helmet, which was the leftover tape thing, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna make a little guy.
And is it smoky?
Yeah, it's smoking a cigar. My favorite part of it was that the original screw.
Oh, well, I gotta get a picture of
The
that.
screw you gave me, the original piece that I had, I used as his eye. So he's got screws for eyes, this screw for his nose. And then I just saw this pen laying there, and I was like, yes! And put it in as the cigar. And then I gave it some yarn hair. And then on his head, I put the word create from the original piece that I was making. But he's got a little arm here and like a shield. So it's like a little dude. So I'm actually, I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
That's
Awesome, man. And what about the process itself?
Well, it was frustrating, and then it got a little exciting as I finally had an idea. Once I had a vision of what I wanted to do with the guy, then it got way more fun, and I kept seeing more and more possibilities. But with no vision and just a bunch of stuff that my current vision already fell apart, it got frustrating. But I love how, like, I got to use the first piece, I got to use little pieces of everything I did along the way.
Okay.
So that's
So you got to pick up everything along the way.
except the paper. This is his battleground where he destroyed everything. He belongs right there. He stapled it to the table.
What's his name? Does he have a name?
Aristotle Dos.
There you go!
First, all of this.
Part two.
Good.
Aaron, I'll go.
You wait your turn.
So, basically, this is, our new church building. Architect, I also designed the, new Charger Stadium for the Carson site.
Okay, yeah.
So that's how bad this. But so this is the four walls of the church: Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And we're the fourth wall. And the reason it's open is because so people can come in. We don't want to be closed off. And this is like a pew. And this is this here's the is the stage. Ramp to go up to the stage and a pulpit. This is artwork that they've done, and this is like the little canvas that they paint the artwork on. And then I have all these little screws that are in the church. Now, before I did this, I had like this little cool sword thing that Rebecca wanted that I wouldn't give to her. So then when Joseph said, I want you to give your favorite pieces. So I think I gave them to Rafi.
It became more good.
And so then I had to figure out, and I didn't come to this church idea until I decided to use the box. And the slogan is, I got all these screws from the church. So my slogan is, the awakening. You may come to church screwed, but you'll leave church screwed. And then another
That might be the unofficial
I can see it on the brochure.
Yeah, it's the bulletin
Going on business card,
The other,
That's relevant right there.
There's one more thing about this. This here is this Altoids thing is the stage, and the cool thing is like, you know, how many here are on the Encounter team? Like, you know how it is like when you go up to, oh man, I forgot to get a piece of gum or a breath mint. So all you do is stage up, like right here, and your breath mints are like right underneath there.
Real time.
You know.
You literally got them in there.
We ain't playing around.
You ain't playing. Just ain't no
Right.
game to you.
Brian, so Brian lended me a piece from his church so graciously. What was this?
Oh, that was going to be the pulpit. So then I saw this on the table, and I'm like, who's this? Is anyone using it? And Kelly's like, oh, that was just mine from my Pete's cup. And I'm like,
cool, new pulpit. So I thought he was like a little top or something. So you know.
Who's Pete?
Yeah, who's Pete? Oh, for Pete's sake, there, pulpit right there.
There you go. Nice.
How was your experience with this whole process?
You know, it's funny. Like when I was a kid, I got and our teacher was like really super critical of me. So, and I knew I wasn't any good anyway. So when I found out we weren't doing art like with Jill and you, I just told myself that I was going to have a good time, and that was like my main goal. And so that's what I did.
Good.
And so the fact that I had to give away my 2 pieces, I was just like, it sort of took like a little break, which was kind of good, you know, to just kind of chill out and relax, and went to the bathroom. And this was unintentional. When I came back, I realized that I had just been sitting at the table the whole time and didn't get a chance to look at other people's art. So I just went around and looked at other people's art, and it seemed like after I did that, I was able to come back and figure out what I was doing. So it was fun.
That's cool, Brian. Great. Yeah.
You did it.
Did this help you in any way change your view of what art could be? Because you said you had a very critical teacher that basically put some kind of frame on the fact that you couldn't create art.
Yeah, I think I was doing, we had to cut stuff out or do something that was kind of precise, and I asked him how it looked. And he said, crummy, Brian, just crummy. So as we were doing this tonight, I was like, whatever art I do, I think I'm gonna, it's gonna be called crummy art, but I'm gonna find out what that means in the Greek or something and make it positive, you know? And yeah,
You made
just
it
like
positive.
yeah,
It was
just
very positive.
anything can be art. That's what I got out of this whole thing. Like when you said with Caleb, oh, well, we could hang this whole table up and your art that's stapled would really be art because, you know, it's hanging up. And that's the thing is like anything is, that's kind of what I got out of this. I'm like, what, like when I came back from my first bathroom break, and I'm like, you know, I knew what we were doing before I left, but then I'm like, what are we doing? And it's like, still the same thing, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, and then it sort of dawned on me, yeah, you know, like yeah, just like we're all art, you know. It's not the things that are art, it's us and our hearts that are art.
Yeah.
What did you say, Jill, that we have art already created in us? It's not a gift.
It's not a gift, it's part of your DNA.
Yeah. So
You get it from your papa.
yes. So I think that's neat.
That's great.
Thanks for, by the way, thanks for teaching tonight.
Alright, who's next?
It was
Hey,
You gotta come
Oh,
out.
come on.
I can't really bring it. It's kind of.
Oh,
Staple to the table.
It's not stable.
It's not stable.
You
Still, you don't have an
Yeah, let's clear out. He's got an installation.
Installation.
My installation's up in the
I
business.
I knew when we started the whole process that this for me would be extremely frustrating because I do have a certain concept, and every time I see performance art and whatnot, I'm extremely critical because that's just kind of what I've always been raised with. So I decided that I wasn't gonna put any rules on what it could be, and for the most part, I didn't think it'd really turn out. I just was like, you know, with whatever was handed to me, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do what I can, and at very last second, honestly, it kind of came together for me, and I actually saw a lot of meaning. You know, it's like the cup and the ropes, you know, that just kind of fell into place almost for me. I kind of saw the ropes basically just kind of blow off the cup, you know, kind of just the lid came off, and you know, all the supplies and everything, you know, and then I saw the lock, and I was like, you know, let's shove the screwdriver into the lock and force it open, kind of thing, which is kind of what was going on. And just it kind of for me, it was a little bit prophetic, and it was kind of funny
Okay.
how it turned out.
I gotta see this thing. Good.
Yeah, hold on. Let's
Breaking locks open.
take a field trip.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow. Naked.
That's my favorite.
Getting hot in here.
It says naked, yeah.
He's a Jewy, sir.
Exposed, yeah, that's what I was going for.
It's awesome.
Wow. Good job.
Did you feel like part of this was a performing art type piece?
Performing art.
Because you said you were critical of that. I don't know how you frame that.
You know, it's I didn't think it as a performance, but you know, it does kind of put it in perspective. You know, it's like with the chaos, being able to create something, especially during all the chaos really that was going around, because really like I can feel a lot of what goes on in the room, and it's like I can feel like the cloud of anxiety kind of looming. You know, it was like I could feel like other people's frustrations and things that were going on. So it's like, despite everything that's going on right now, you know, it's like something creative can be birthed out of this.
Yeah.
It's just kind of,
Sitting across from him while I was doing this,
Yeah.
I would say it was performance art.
Yeah.
Because I was watching him and watching his process and how he got from a piece of paper that you handed him and a screw, and it was just like, I could see the frustration and I could see all the, you know, the processing going on in his head, you know, and then all of a sudden things started clicking, and it just like what it ended up as, just kind of spilled out. And then you handed him a blank piece of paper and some Sharpies, and that's when he got like excited, and then it seemed like his heart was in what he was doing, and then he ended up, you know, it all spilled out into this,
Okay.
and that's where he ended. It's like, yeah, it's pretty cool.
that was a lot better than I could ever say.
That's what I saw.
Alright, I like that. I'll take that.
That's awesome. I'm not trying to steer you.
No, you go for it.
Nice things, man.
You guys have any questions of his piece? Okay. Who's next?
Andrew, you're
I gotta go in front though, right?
Yeah.
Should be kidding.
You have it portable.
I'm in the corner there. It is portable now.
Oh wow.
So I got given this little metal piece. It's a latch.
Oh.
It's actually looks like it goes to the opposite side of the lock that he had there. But at first I was like, okay, now that I figured out what it is, now what do I do? And so I was like, okay, God, I know what it is, but where does it belong? And so I just started looking at it from different angles. And then when I flipped it a certain way, it looked like a boat with a ridiculously large rudder, with nothing other than a boat with a large rudder that's only goes one direction. I'm like, okay, and then you have a piece of paper, so I made a sail for my boat. And then you gave me a box, which then you took away later, but that had water on the outside of it. So I stuck my boat in my box. And then you said about like collaborating and sharing parts and pieces and stuff. And so I had another piece which I gave away because it was instrumental in my piece. So I ended up creating something different. And I'm a practical guy, so I wanted to do something. So it ended up ocean. It's a boat. If you pull to enter rest. So
That's awesome. Cool.
it originally had a heart.
Functional.
It had a
Yeah.
it had a heart that was in front of this, and so it was he was pulling me, his son, into was hard. So, and it was crazy because everything you handed me was exactly what I needed for the next step. I told you that before, but each thing you put in front of me, I was like, oh, I need that.
Even when I took it away, you still.
Even and I made it. I'm like, now it's gonna make this what I'm supposed to have. So I just made my own box with water on it.
Okay.
So yes, there we go. That's my thing. We'll sit down now.
That's
When we first started, was everyone kind of under the assumption that you couldn't share pieces?
Yes, at
Yeah.
first.
At first,
Why do you think that is?
because you handed it to us individually.
You give it one to each person.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't any rules, so why would you restricted us to keep it to ourselves?
We just made the rules on
Yeah. That's usually how it is in class. I think everybody just adapted what they grew up with.
So you took something and then just assumed that this for you was on
Because Desiree kept saying, I just have this one piece, you know, and like I had 3. And she kept saying, you have 3 and I have 1.
That was done on purpose too.
I know. And I didn't say yes or no. I didn't say I wouldn't share, but I thought, well, I'm gonna let her. I'm not gonna, because I usually do, you know, I usually run in front of people so they don't have to have, you know, anything on their own. So but you never said you wanted my pieces, so I didn't give them to her. Because Jen had some stuff too, and so.
Yeah. And I used my one very well until I got more.
Right.
So, then I had an abundance. Oh, well, I may do with one.
Who wants to share?
I'll go.
All right.
Okay, so I started out with, and this is I feel like I'm in first grade or something, doing a show and tell here. Oh, thank you. So I started out with this screw and this one and this really cool little eyepiece. And so before and later I was given the paper, but even at first when I got these 3 things, you had said, you know, to talk to God about it and how it was art. And I really started seeing things in them right away.
Good.
I didn't have, I wasn't in the frustrating area. I was over here.
Well, you're over that shade.
So I missed that. I didn't even realize you guys were doing that, to be honest. I missed that whole thing. So I noticed, you know, like right away, like this one has like experience and color and wear, you know, where like this one's brand new and then this was just, you know, cool. I just thought this was cool. Then he gave me the paper. The paper came with this, with the cross and with the pen writing on it. And so the first thing I noticed, you know, the praise the Lord, and I told Jill already, but you know, it was so interesting because this morning, right as I'm driving away from the house, I don't know who I think I'm speaking to, but I'm just like, you know, having this conversation in my head with a group of people about, you know, like bringing it. You've taught us, you know, and so I was like air people and SOA people and leadership team, you know, like come to church and bring it. Be praising God. Pastor Craig has taught us. You praise God, and then that, you know, ushers in other people, and then you go into worship, which can be a little more one-on-one, and you know, so you come praising God to open that up and invite other people. So it's just interesting that phrase, I mean, it is a very common phrase, but you know, that phrase happens to be on here. So then I was looking at the cross, and so this screw is like holding up the cross, you know, like it's in the wood, you know, because it's like been used, and this one like would be at the house. Color wise, it would be at the house, not this one. This one, as far as the just things in the house. That's kind of the color. I kept thinking of that. This one, when you look in the top, and of course they're both made for Phillips, so it's a little bit like a cross, but this one is like beautiful inside. If I could fit in there, it would be like being surrounded by glass or crystal or maybe like ice. I mean, just like pure, clean, clear, you know? So with all of this, you know, together, this, you know, is the cross. So then, you know, because of what Jesus did for us on the cross, we're forgiven of our sin, we have the Holy Spirit. So that's what this is up here, you know. And then this hangs supernaturally in front of here. And for like really studious people, you can look through this and like you look at the cross, like study the cross, like you study the word, you know, like studying Jesus, you study the word. And then it also, you know, you might be having a hard time seeing this, but you can also look through it like this way. And so, like some people, as they come to the Lord, you know, they have like a little bit of a foundation, you know, and then like they enter in. But then some people just, I mean, they just don't have any foreknowledge of the Lord, and they just, you know, they just dive in, you know, they dive in this way. So that's what that is going on. And so then, you know, you started giving me more things, and I put them on. I was trying to risk and do all the open stuff. Trying to be open. So he gave me the paper clips, and the Holy Spirit links us together, you know, so we're linked together through, you know, the Holy Spirit. And then I'm not sure which I did next, this or that, but we'll just say these. So these, you know, then we got a whole bunch more screws. And so, you know, I put these around here because these are like the things that come at us, that are like thrown at us.
Oh, darts.
Darts and things. And then I also thought of, in Cabo, anyone that's gone to the church that we went to, you know, the tripping hazards, they're still there. All the tripping hazards are still there. So there's tripping hazards, but they're away from the cross, you know. So if, you know, we're all focused on staying near Jesus, near the cross, the tripping hazards are away from the cross. And the tripping hazards and the darts were blue, and so, you know, I didn't want them to be blue, so I put the black tape over the top because they're against us, you know, they're against us, so they're not like blue, pretty, they're against us, you know. So then, this, with the clothespin here, this is, for me, pink is like pretty. And so it's kind of like, you know, like we have gifts, and I don't, really, this whole time I was thinking about me. I was thinking, I don't always steward the gifts I'm given all that well, you know? So I was thinking sometimes Jesus kind of like holds them on to me. Because I don't necessarily do that all that well myself. So, you know, because it's pretty, so it's like a gift, you know? But then sometimes Jesus holds that on to me. Thankfully. And then I had scissors, and I was gonna cut off, like, you know, just like start cutting off maybe and getting just closer to the cross, cutting off big pieces. And I thought, Jesus, that's not what Jesus does. Jesus starts like on the edge where it's easier and just cuts like easy little, you know, and makes us prettier and softer. So that's what that is, as opposed to, I'm not done. Cool. So
Wow.
that's my.
I love how you found such beauty in that top screw.
Yeah.
Did you look in the top of it?
Yeah.
It is really, if you could, I said to Desiree, if I could live in there, it's like beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like a blue diamond.
It is. It even is sparkles. It has a diamond look. It like sparkles inside there.
It's great.
You can have it back if you want.
No.
You told me I could keep it, but
I
if you
did.
want it back, I could, you know.
Who wants to go next? Okay.
Okay, so here's mine. I actually really don't mind open-ended, like really, because it reminds me of school. So, so I got my little metal piece there, and I took it apart because I'm an arch dork, so I like actually looking at mechanisms and how they work and why they work, and so I took it apart and I was busy messing with it and couldn't put it back together. So I just started looking at it from different angles, and it reminded me of some of the architecture that I've seen, and so I just started there and then I got the piece of paper, and I'm like, okay, no, do I draw it? I can do some plans, like this is what it could look like, but I thought, no, that's kind of obvious, so let's stretch a little bit. So I started folding it, and started folding it around my pieces and sliding them together, and what the first piece kind of, as I was thinking about it, I was like, you know, it had 3 pieces to the one mechanism, and all of those 3 pieces were unique and individual, but it took all 3 of them together to make it work. And so that's kind of what the piece kind of started out as for me, was, you know, it has all these different pieces and parts, and you know, I couldn't tell you what the main part of this or what it's supposed to be, or I just had a lot of fun making it. But all the pieces together work together to create one whole, and so that's kind of where it started for me. So the process just kind of evolved as I went along, and I arrived with crayon shavings, and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm going to do with that. So I tried melting them, and that didn't work, and then I tried gluing them, and that didn't work. So I just kind of, they evolved, and then I got a piece from Butch that kind of completed everything, and then I just started tying it all together, and by the time I got done, I'm like, okay, I think it's about done. For me, this wasn't a stressful process, but when I create with God, it's kind of it changes every time. So I learned to trust the intuitive part and go, okay, God, I'm drawn to this for a reason, and so I go with it. So I did. So that was my piece.
So you said that you had the rope piece and it completed it. How so to you? What does that represent?
There's a lot of structure happening.
Okay.
The rope is organic.
Okay.
And so it could be that it flows through, as opposed to you have this much more like there's rigid structure around it, and then you have something that's organic and flows.
Okay.
Because I kept finding myself wanting to do those, like, you know,
Hard
angles and hard and pieces of structure, and that's probably me falling back in my architecture kind of comfort zone. But then I kept finding myself doing this.
That's cool.
And so wanting to set it, you know, create a base and set stuff in it, and then it kind of seemed like a channel to me, and so the crayon pieces weren't working to complete that. So when Butch was like, yeah, this isn't working for me, I'm like, that works for me. So I appropriated it.
That's awesome.
And the black line tied on the piece, the rope, but actually it kind of changes how you think about it as well. So
Yeah, were you strategic with the placement, like in terms of color choice?
Because of my model building background, I kind of stuck with starker colors because of just kind of how it started.
Okay.
And I had the white piece, and then I had the metal, and so I just started curving it around. And the white and the black always works as far as models go, so it works with my aesthetic. Yeah. So.
That's cool.
Awesome.
Who wants to go next?
Oh, we have 2.
Right.
Wow.
So it's
Number 1,
industrious.
number 2. I just started with just a piece of paper and this little knob thing, not knowing, and then then I got a pencil that didn't work. So I took the pencil apart and started making impressions on it, and then I took the lead out and started just trying to make some texture and just not really worrying about what it was going to be. Just
So you had lead in the pencil.
yeah.
It just wasn't long enough to be utilized.
Well,
Mechanisms were.
the
Oh,
whole
is it
top,
just broken?
yeah, it was completely broken, so I just took apart the pencil and took the lead out, so I just used it to shade and made impressions with the end of the pencil, because that's, I thought we were just supposed to take whatever we were given and
Okay.
make something with it, so I decided to just make texture, and then I don't remember what you gave us next, but I just, every piece that was given to me, I just tried to incorporate it in there somehow, and not really with anything in mind of what it would look like at the end, or any standard that it had to be or anything, just as when we were supposed to pass things, I tried to incorporate that, and just as the different colors came to us, did that, and then this was the second one. Had a ripped piece of paper to make something out of, so
I saw you doing those little like twirling things. I'm like, what's she doing? That's pretty cool.
so it was fun. It was lots of fun.
Was there any part of the process that revealed anything to you or pushed you in any particular way?
I don't think it. I think I just told myself I have no expectation. I'm not gonna try to make this. I'm not gonna try to have a vision for what this is gonna be, because I just wanted to just play with it and just have fun and not worry about what it was gonna be. So that was fun. But I thought with the art that I do, I usually plan everything and do really detailed work, and I thought maybe I'll play around a little bit more.
Okay. So this is
Do
playtime.
some more abstract that I usually look at it as a waste of canvas and paint. But maybe I'll decide on a couple pieces.
Did it help having all these materials that weren't paint and canvas?
Well,
So was
I've
it
been
so
creative.
structured?
No, because I've done needlework and all kinds of things with fabric and stuff. So all different things are art to me. So it was just a different medium that had no definition. So.
Who wants to go next?
Who's the next contestant on The Price is Right?
Who hasn't gone yet? Raise your hand if you haven't gone yet. Raise your hand if you, I know Amy, I see that again. And I see Butch. Anybody else?
Janet does.
Jan, Amy, Butch, Des,
Rebecca. Butch Johnson, come on down. Wow, that's pretty elaborate.
It's a V-box. I gave my essential part away, which was a latch. That's kind of, excuse me, that just kind of got the idea going, locked up.
Okay.
How do you open this thing? And anyways, I couldn't find a way to mount it on there anyways, have it known what it was, so
Oh, so you gave that to Jeff? That's what Jeff used.
gave it to Jeff. And anyways, I don't know what it looks like to everybody, but
What's it look like to you?
just kind of the box blowing up,
Box blown up.
labels kind of blowing apart.
You got stuck with that wrinkly piece of paper with ink all over it. Like, what was your thought on that?
I was trying to figure it out, but it's like, that's kind of out of the box for me, so. It's kind of like, it's kind of the roadway coming out of the box.
Out of the box.
That's it. And essay means something in Spanish. What's it mean?
Homeboy.
Slang essay means homeboy.
But like being or
It's
something.
100% homeboy wellness.
It means this.
Homeboy wellness, right there.
That's a shirt right there.
Anyways, it's a bunch of words. But the more you gave me, the more I was like, yeah, this is good. More stuff.
That's awesome.
So, I love it.
So the more material you got, the more that box blew up.
The more it was. more there to blow it up.
Okay.
It's like the back of the TV. It reminds me of the back of the TV with all the cables.
Oh,
and-
yeah. One of the old like cabinet TVs.
Yeah.
There you
Awesome.
go.
Pretty cool.
Who else?
Jane.
You like a bottom? Oh, and this is too cute.
Okay, my team here is
You have to do that.
encouraging me.
Yeah.
Well, they have like profound explanations and stuff, but I just got this paper and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. So I don't know what to do with this. So I just started making a fan, and at first it was just like a fan. And then the pencils came and the screwdrivers and all that, and just kind of started putting it together. And then it kind of reminded me, the shape reminded me of like, maybe like in New York or LA or something, like a big sculpture you'd see on a big plaza, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So that was kind of like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then I really liked the twine. It just was, it's just fun. It's just fun to work with and just make different designs and stuff. And so then I just put some, usually when I'm at a scribe, it comes out as prayer, praise. So I did that in the folds of that. And yeah, so it's just kind of, yeah, just all this various and sundry things all ended up in there somehow. So that was that. And then I just did a base for it with just some colors and drawing, like Joe got me started with the colors and getting into those kind of ideas. And so just some music notes and, you know, worship stuff, and that became the base, which is our base. And then Joe wanted us to do a little more, so he handed out a piece of paper. So I just made it very simple.
And what is the font say? I am the Lord.
Come on in.
And the door, come in.
I love you.
That's awesome.
Cool.
I love it.
That's right to the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right to the point.
Straight to the heart.
That's great. And the door to remain unlocked during business hours.
There you go. That's it, right?
That's great.
Yeah, keep it as just business. Right. That's right. Business.
Always business hours.
Okay, Desiree needs to go. She's got a good explanation for hers.
We'll see how this goes. It'll go great. Okay. Thanks. Actually, it wasn't frustrated fun. It was just more dumbfounded at first. Just kind of like, I don't know if you can see the top of this. I'm gonna,
You can turn the
so this
podium
way.
the other way.
Yeah, there we go. Go that way. And
Perfecto.
alright. So, okay. You can't see all the words in here, but basically, starting out, I just had the one screw. So I was trying to be innovative with the one screw. And so I was like, so how, you know, what is this really saying? So I was looking at the screw and talking about the screw. He was telling me the screw is just very, it's a very important piece because it holds things together. If you have it one way, it's as you grow, you go around, as we grow in the Lord, we may come around to the same patterns of things, but if we're at a different level in dealing with them, so it's like we're growing in a spiral. And so the screw was just it was speaking a lot to me of what it meant and how it means to it. So anyway, so then I got the paper. I go, well, this is very natural. It reminds me of sand. It reminds me of the beach, of being out, you know, out there. So I was like, okay, well, what can I do between this and the screw. So he's like, well, make a wave, water, make a wave. So I made a wave and put the screw in, and he said, yeah, that screw holds. It's like holding the force of the wave, like you're surfing a wave, you're going through the tunnel. So we're like the Holy Spirit, the force of his hand is kind of covering us as we're in the deep waters. We're in the deep waters and we're kind of going through. So we're kind of going through, and here's his crown, right on there. And through the deep waters, it's not always pleasant, but joy comes out. There's joy here. I don't know if you can see the word joy.
Yeah.
And further down to the beach, getting to this place, there's also the cord of 3 that was braided. And so I kind of like, okay, because then we got this. And I thought, well, this is kind of fun. So I braided the cord of 3 of the Holy Spirit, God, and Jesus, and kind of going through the wave and going all the way around to the beach area, to the shore. And you probably can't see it, but on the shore, there's footprints. I was thinking of the typical footprints in the sand. So there's God's footprints, Christ's footprints, and then there's our little footprints, or my little footprints. They're tiny. Here it is, and they're shaded because our footprints, he sees them in his perspective. It's not what we see in our own footprints. He sees them in his perspective of how we are walking. And then there's nails going through this because the nails is holding the cord of 3 throughout the journey. So this is kind of represents our journey. And there's faith, hope, and love throughout this journey. And as we go into the deep, and then this cord is just singular. Well, that's just us then taking all of this whole self and him all together and kind of going out into the world. Just kind of going out and changing the atmospheres and changing all of that. And then then I got the box and I go, oh, we're elevated. So we have a different perspective because we're higher. We're on higher ground. So he gives us hinds feet. So anyway. That's kind of represents Thank you.
Amy?
Okay, so one thing I noticed as the different music and screens and stuff, I started getting more anxiety with like the noise and different things going on. And so I made this. I started just kind of writing some words in my journal, and then I got that little circle thing with a reflector on it. So I started making circles and writing the words that I wrote in my journal on here. And so I don't know if they're stones, but it's kind of like a river with stones. Things like, a reflection of pure love back to the Father. And then Kelly had written on her paper wonder. And so that kind of stuck in my mind. And then I finally got to where I was like, I do not know what else to do with this. So I just started sketching instead. And it was kind of like the anxiety left once I started sketching. And then I just went with this. And so that says Child of Wonder.
Wow.
So this is my doodad. Yep. I started with the washer, and then when Joe told us to give away our essential pieces, I had like made this other tree, and I wasn't using the washer yet, and then I had something else. I was holding up the tree, and Brian ended up using the tree part in his
church as like the art decoration. So, and then Raph gave me part of a pen and a screwdriver, and then I ended up making some other screws and piles. So it was kind of cool. And then I didn't originally have the washer like in my picture, and then started drawing on it and putting other screws on it. And there were too many sounds, so I listened to music. And then Joe gave me more paper, and I was done. So I crawled under the table and just doodled.
All the table and doodle.
Because it's hard, and I can go wherever.
That's right.
That's right, exactly.
That's awesome. Jill. Jill, come on. You gotta show your around.
Okay, but we're like,
I know.
okay,
You guys-
I found
give her
these
like
things,
30
I wasn't
seconds.
given them, I found them, and I made them into first a little
That's
bridal thing that, you know,
Uh-huh.
you've seen of it, and then I made it into jewelry, and then I just stuck it here as a wreath.
That's
awesome.
That's me.
Pastor Craig?
Right.
I just took pictures of everything I was doing, so.
He has really brilliant pictures, will you post them?
Yes,
You
I will
post them
post them on
the page, because they're,
page.
they're like literally brilliant, I think he needs to make a coffee table book.
Seriously, that first picture you took, just, I didn't see the rest of it.
Oh, yeah.
They're amazing.
Yeah, I'll post them.
You guys saw my instrument.
Yeah.
The cajon, the elf cajon.
And the wagon.
And yeah, you know, it actually was started as a wagon. That was the original part. So, but what's interesting is when you handed me that little screw at the beginning. Yeah. So I'm just staring at it because I'm like, what are the instructions? Because I was like, oh, and Brady's like, they're on that. Just communicate with God. So I'm like, what is this? So you know, I like coming to class when I have nothing to do. So, because you just relax and enjoy whatever. And I'm enjoying the I'm finding every cool part about the screw, like all the edges and everything else, and gold and this and that, and just enjoying its beauty. You know what I'm talking about? So I wasn't frustrated, I wasn't anxious, but I was just enjoying it. And God started talking to me about beauty, and He said, if you relax enough in life, everything's beautiful. And so then He just said, He began to talk to me about enjoying. I've been asking Him to help me on my days off, to rest, because I like to accomplish things. So it's, you know, I can run my house ragged if I, you know, run them through. We're supposed to rest today. That means we're gonna do this and this, you know, and so that's not good for everybody. So he just said, well, why don't you enjoy beauty? And it started a conversation. And I realized some areas of my life I'm afraid to enjoy beauty because there's been times where I've enjoyed something as beautiful and then it's gotten taken away. And so he started, everything he's talking about in humanity. He says, if you're afraid of losing beauty, you won't enjoy it when it's right in front of you.
Wow.
So he said, enjoy the moment, enjoy the beauty that's right in front of you without fearing it being robbed of you later on. And then I can only handle too much deep conversations. I got to start working with my hands in order to. That's just who I am. Kinesthetic, right? At some point, I got to go fishing or do something that requires no thinking, and that's what this was. So.
Nice.
Turn it into a wagon and a drum.
What about the dragon?
What about Aristotle?
That was
giraffe challenge.
Extra credit. The teacher challenged me.
It's an overachiever.
What's that?
Overachiever.
Overachieving.
One, the tape was blank, it showed you were able to cut through the red tape.
So it could be Pegasus.
Well, I hope you guys all grasped something tonight.
Yes, thank you.
Really, for me, I wanted to just create space that the Holy Spirit would speak to each person. You know, if our whole life is worship, it's worship directed to something. Regardless, it's going somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no piece of junk that can't be used into some beautiful piece of art. Our life is an ongoing piece of art. And sometimes it's reworked, sometimes we get a pencil and it's got no freaking
Thanks for that.
It's got nothing the right way. You get pieces that someone else needs. Someone else has pieces we need. Someone else needs help with that we need. So, I just hope that in some way, just the door continues to stay unlocked for you guys.
One thing, I've been talking to the Lord about lately is, and I know this is basic and probably none of you guys have this, but being happy for others, like when they, and sort of, kind of what this kind of taught me is, to if someone can really use what I have, like when you said give what, give your 2 most valuable pieces, and I think I gave 4 pieces because I'm because I was by the time I was well, no, now this is all set because, of how I was using it. I'm they need all of this, and so I just said, okay, and just being able to look at what somebody else has done and be oh wow, that's really cool, without feeling lack for oh well, yeah, gee, I have that. By the time I did my church, I was didn't care about the other stuff that I'd given away, so just
Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is cool.
Yeah.
I'm frustrated to begin with, but
unexpectedly cool.
And
You
this
guys are
was an
free to
experience,
take
I've never done anything like this.
Yeah?
Found
Really
really
good.
good, yeah, I've never.
well, thanks for cleaning out my garage.
Anytime.
You're not moving. You guys, I want to remind you tomorrow night, Pastor Matt and Pastor Maggie will be here tomorrow night.
Very cool.
Everybody that can come, you're going to want to meet them. And they're going to be doing some teaching, so it's going to be good. It'll only be about an hour and a half or so, 8:30. I challenge you guys to be aware of what changes in your thinking. And sometimes you won't, for some of us slow processors going through an experience like this, if you let your soul go through the experience with you, not just your mind, right? Not just cognitive, but let your soul go with you, it gets transformed. So sometimes I know some people will go through an experience like this and they'll do it in their head because it's hard to be in the moment with something that's frustrating. But later on, you remember what your soul was doing while you were going through it, and then you become aware of what God's doing in your life, in your soul. Make sense? If it doesn't, just think on it for a while. And for the next week, until next Tuesday, just be thinking, just throughout the day, just ask God, what were you doing with me? What were you doing with me as I was creating? What were you doing with me? See what he says. All right? You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Rob.
you.
See you later.
Okay, yeah.
Late already.
Yeah, I was
Super,
yeah.
Joe, you like these broken pieces and stuff?
What's that? Super early.
I'll take that.
Huh? Swirl around.
Are you saving any of this stuff, Joe, or is it all going in the trash?
You want your
I'll
screwdriver?
take the stuff that I think is still
Okay,
usable.
so just leave it all out?
Yeah, don't worry about it. Take whatever you want.
Okay.
Denise?
Yeah.
Oh, one more thing, right in there. Perfect. Since your hands aren't full at all. You know what? It fits it really well.
I thought that was Jones. But well, he probably needs some.
Use a rubber band. Or I need to ask you.
If he doesn't use it, he'll
Grab
go
the
upstairs.
dry erase.
Okay.
You need to take a bath and this stuff is.
Do you have bags we can help you put stuff in?
Cool. I'll figure it out.
Thanks, Jen.
My car did have pros and cons of it.
Thank you, that was a lot of fun.
You're welcome.
We,
Mike, are you in architecture?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would architecture, the studio is well known. So I'm like, yeah, so that's why I do.
Residential, commercial?
I wasn't commercial.
Okay.
I was residential, so I left commercial, I was getting ready to sit some exams. And just life circumstances happened,
Yeah.
and I was like, this is not cool, and I'm not doing this. And so if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Life insurance, so I left for a while.
Okay.
And I come back and do residential.
Sure. Okay.
And yeah.
That's very neat.
That's
Sorry.
right. Frank Gehry.
Oh, that is me.
Would you like his work?
I used to love it.
It's a nice vacation right
There you go.
I have a light taste.
See you guys.
Frank Lloyd Wright.
I hate Frank Lloyd Wright. I hate him with a passion.
Yeah.
See,
See, I like those two based on how sculptural it is.
Well, he is very sculptural, that's very true. And he works really well with light.
Yeah.
So as far as those two aspects go, they're fantastic.
You're welcome.
But both of them are really good human beings.
So who should I be looking at?
Good residential or good general?
In general, I love architecture. Architecture for me is just another inspiring piece of art.
I love, if you like art, if you like the